3 is the final red and gold armor. Then you have Mark 4 and 5, whatever. The Golden Avenger and Silver Centurion. Let's see. Also, that the special effects that you see are made by Stan Winston, and this was his last. He's a famous.
What scene are we on?
We're on the scene on 10.
Oh,
10.
okay. Sorry.
10.
Then I am right with you.
As Tony is about to test his completed prototype shoot, one of the sound effects heard as he boots up Jarvis is, with the mapping radar, is a ship zap effect from the classic arcade game Space Invaders, 1978. That's when he thought the Infinity Gauntlet was released.
Yeah.
When Tony flies too high and his suit is rendered inoperable eyes, it contains many similarities to the Tale of Icarus. His hubris drives him climb too high, even as Jarvis warns him of the danger. In much the same way Icarus flew too close to the sun against the device of his father Daedalus, causing his wax holding the wings to his body as he melted from the heat. Interesting. Also notice that Eddie Gradnov designed a billboard poster of Iron Man's nemesis, the alien dragon, Fing Fang Foom from the film. This poster can be seen when Stark, while testing the Mark II armor, flies straight down the road. Remember Fing Fang Foom?
Yeah.
The big-ass dragon? He was in the one Marvel. That one, was it, what is that one game? It was a really good game. The Marvel game. Fing Fang Foom was in there.
I remember one with Fing Fang, but I don't remember the name.
It was like the top-down view. You start out with being the
Ultimate Avengers or
something like that. You know, you start out with as the Avengers in that because the Avengers were prominent. You know.
Yeah, but that was much later. That wasn't an early game.
It was 2005, 2006.
Yeah, that's my point. Like in the 1980s, you didn't have an Avengers game. You had an X-Men game. You had a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game. But there was no Avengers game. I wonder why. Because they were below the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles on the scale of awesomeness.
So there's this Disney party. So Tony returns home when he crashes through the ceiling, and that's when his robot arm sprays him again. There's that on again, off again relationship with his robot arm.
Yeah.
You know, he keeps on telling him, "Don't you spray me." Every time there's an accident, as he's developing, he gets sprayed, and this is one of those,
It's a great scene because it's funny, then later on when essentially the robot arm saves his life at the very end of the movie. Mm-hmm. So it's what the fuck are you doing today? Seriously, you're like talking about me, but you are just every time I say something, you give me nothing back. And then you say something, and it's like I'm trying to bite into whatever the fuck you're saying, and then you're just like, and then you try to move on. What the hell are you doing to me today? You're just straight up fucking with me is what it is.
It's fun. It's fun. It's fun. Try and get through the damn movie.
Okay, then go.
I won't say anything. Time. We're fine. We're fine. So there's this party now. There's this Disney party or something.
Yes.
Where Stark wasn't going to go, but he decided to go.
He didn't get an invite.
Yeah. So he ends up meeting Pepper Potts there, who he dances with, and Potts is bitching about SJW shit about dancing with her boss. You know, shouldn't.
I think it's legitimate.
It's legitimate at this point. Okay.
I don't think it was SJW. It's just like, okay, you're my boss, and everybody knows that you sleep with everybody woman around you. And now you're basically putting me in a situation where people are going to think that I'm fucking you.
Yeah, okay.
I mean that's legit.
That's legit. Okay, but this is a really important scene because this is when he runs into the girl that he slept with, that journalist.
Yes,
and she reveals to him, "How do you feel about your weapons killing all these people?"
Right, and that's where we lead into the scene with him flying over to save them.
Exactly, but he also runs into Stain after that meeting with her, because she gives him the pictures. But this is really cool.
Well, he's already been thrown out of the company at this point, right?
Well, almost. So this short conversation, she hands him the pictures. Before that, he has a joke referring to Carrie Christine when he doesn't know his name. And that was supposed to be referring to Stephen King's two of Stephen King's most acclaimed novels.
Right.
So, also, I thought it was interesting. You're listening to this music throughout the entire movie. It was actually composed by Raman Djawadi. I know I'm just destroying his name. Favreau wanted him to compose to keep the core of the music on heavy guitar, which he felt suited Iron Man best. Mm-hmm. Djawadi also does the theme music for Game of Thrones.
Oh, that's cool.
Which is a phenomenal show, and that's about to start.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen it.
So he runs into Obadiah Stane. And
how many seasons are there of Game of Thrones?
7, and this will be the 8th and final one.
Okay. How many episodes a season? Like 10?
Usually it was 10. The last 7 season was 8, and the season's going to be 6. The final season's 6.
Mm. Yeah, I'm trying to decide whether I actually want to watch it.
You should watch it. You should watch it.
Because I think it's on Netflix. I'm not sure. But if it's not, it's on demand.
You should watch it. I'm just telling you should watch it. So he tells Stane about the weapons being used, and Stane's like, I filed an injunction against you, Tony. You're on your way out.
Yeah, he's the one that filed the injunction, not the board.
Yeah, not the board.
And the character change is so quick and so good.
Just like, yep.
You know, he's like Uncle Joe Biden there for the whole movie, and then suddenly he turns into like just a monster almost immediately.
Well, you would say that it's all immediately, but there was warnings. Like when he went to go visit Tony at his house, warning him about the stock prices. You got to do something.
Oh no, I understand that it. Yeah. Anybody with half a brain could have knew that he was the one that set him up the whole time. I'm just saying the character, as in the way he was playing it.
Oh yeah,
like he even when he's like, oh yeah, but you got to pay attention to the stock price. The stock price has fallen 40 points. He wasn't like being a dick about it.
No, he wasn't.
He was Uncle Joe.
Yeah.
The whole goddamn movie until that scene, and it flipped like a switch. And even his facial expression. If you watch that scene very closely, his facial expression changes rapidly.
It's awesome.
It's really good.
Awesome. So Tony goes back to his garage. I mean, his garage, because he's going to go get revenge against those terrorists. He's got to test out his hand cannons first. The pulse lasers,
pulses, or whatever the hell it was.
And when he's testing them out, you see several airplane models on behind him on the shelf, including a C-130 Hercules, an XB-70 Valkyrie, that was a jet from the 1950s, and intended as a bomber capable of Mach 3. Never became operational. So Tony ends up flying over to Afghanistan, blows the living shit out of the terrorists. This includes one of my favorite scenes in the entire movie, where he sees a tank, fires a missile at it, and starts walking towards the camera, and you see the tank blow up in the background.
That scene, coupled with the very next scene where there's all these terrorists and they're standing behind the people and like human shields, and then he just does this and then shoots out the missiles and just kills them all immediately.
Yeah, just they all fall over just like that.
2 scenes in a row that were just so awesome.
He ends up getting the Glen Burnie pizza place guy, parlor guy. Remember, he tries to hide behind the stone wall.
Yeah, he just punches through the wall and then leaves him there to be beating the shit out of.
Yeah, then throws him to the people.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
So the Air Force.
But then, going back to my theme from earlier, every time he builds himself up, he gets beat down. So right after that, he ends up getting into the firefight with the F-11s.
Yeah.
If it was F-11s, I don't know what the hell it was. They look like F-11s to me. Mm-hmm. What were they? Do you know?
F-22s.
See, I'm completely off.
I think F-11s are like paper airplanes or something. Anyway, so
no, they're not.
You see Tony? What? Huh?
They are not, dude.
F-11s?
Yeah.
Were there ever something called F-11s?
Yes.
Really? What were they?
I don't know. Look them up.
Look them up right
Maybe they were older. So F-22s or F-16, and what is the other one? The F-30?
It's F-11. I'm going to find what the F-11 is right here.
Is it there or not?
Yes, it was the F-11 Tiger.
Single engine jet.
Single seat carrier, supersonic jet.
Okay. Then I said I just ask a question. You agree with me, and then that just makes me look like an asshole. I'm just asking. I don't know fucking jets from shit.
Oh, it's okay. They're
I'm not a
mine.
military man.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm a goddamn shitty programmer. That's all I am.
Angry programmer.
Yes, I'm very angry. That's obvious. They could have been F-22. They could have been F-16s too,
Right.
couldn't they?
Right,
I
they
don't
could
know. I don't know. What the fuck did they fly?
This is where you can do the Terrence Howard thing, by the way. This is where I have it.
I have no opinion on this anymore. I had one an hour ago. Now I've lost all, I can't even finish fucking sentences anymore. I'm that frustrated.
So, I'm smiling. So this is the part where he takes off, and then the Air Force or the Army is like, wait a second, there's an unidentified aircraft over this space.
Yeah.
And they're like, do you know anything about this roadie? Roadie's like, I don't know. And then Stark calls him, saying,
Yes.
get these guys off my ass. That's when the two F-22s come after him.
Was that a dig?
No.
Felt like a dig.
No, I have it right here. F-22s on the paper. We were keeping up. I put a lot of work in this. The pilots in the F-22 jets are codenamed Whiplash 1, Whiplash 2.
If I sat here and read this fucking thing while you were trying to do the story, what exactly would I be doing other, because I wouldn't be commenting on it.
No, you wouldn't. No, you wouldn't.
And I don't know jets, dude. I don't. So
That's okay. You're still stuck with the
F-11
jets.
is a jet. I know
It's
it was
a jet.
legitimate jet.
F-22 is a jet, too.
Yes.
So the Whiplash is actually a supervillain.
And an
that appears
F-16
in-
is a jet, right?
Yes, it is.
It's a real thing. I'm
Yes.
not making that up.
It's
Am I?
correct, right. But the Whiplash
Well,
is...
you said that I was making up the F-11. You legitimately said that.
I might have, or I might just cut that out. I'm going to keep it in there. I would never do
You're going to leave everything in there because it embarrasses the shit out of me.
No, it's not.
You only cut out your own faux pas. Like, I don't listen to this shit, and I don't know what's going on.
I know you're listening to the car, you're like, here it comes when Jimmy fucks up. Clip.
Yes, exactly.
This was the only movie for Terrence Howard to play Lieutenant Colonel James Rhodey Rhodes.
Yes.
Go on. Come on. I want to hear your opinion on this.
Well, what do you think? I mean, did you prefer Terrence
I prefer,
Howard?
yeah, absolutely, 100% over Cheadle. Absolutely.
Okay, why?
Cheadle's annoying. I don't like Don Cheadle. I just there's just some people irk you. He's one of those people. One of those
And
actors.
I feel the exact same way about Terrence Howard.
That he annoys you.
Yes. Whereas I like Cheadle.
Um,
What do you not like about Cheadle?
He's annoying. I don't know.
Okay. I prefer Cheadle.
John Favreau.
And honestly, I understand the argument.
Mm-hmm.
Basically what happened was he wanted more money.
Mm-hmm.
And he felt like, because Robert Downey Jr. was getting a huge payday going into Iron Man 2.
That's right.
And he insists that he was the one that brought Robert Downey Jr. into Iron Man in the
really?
first place.
Interesting.
So he got real pissed off, and he thought that Robert Downey Jr. was going to
Look out for him.
look out for him, make a big fuss, maybe even threaten to leave the movie if they didn't pay him more.
Yeah, it's going to happen.
And essentially,
It's not going to happen.
they said, fuck you, and got Don Cheadle, who I thought was a better actor.
I don't know about that.
Didn't he win an Oscar for Hotel Rwanda? Or I don't know. I'm asking.
I don't like Don Cheadle.
That doesn't mean you don't know knowledge.
Don't know the knowledge. Hotel
Rwanda.
Rwanda awards. Satellite Award for Best Actor went to Don Cheadle.
Well, then I guess he didn't win an Oscar because that would
I'm
probably
get-
be listed first.
I'm getting. You don't need the Satellite Awards to be listed first.
I mean, with the Satellite Award, what the fuck is that?
He was nominated for the Oscar for Best Performance by an Actor for the Golden Globes as well.
Okay, well, it doesn't matter because you don't like him, so that's all that really matters.
He did win the BET Awards for Best Actor in that movie. along with the African American.
Does that count, dude? Seriously, I don't mean to be a dick, but does the BET Awards count?
I don't know. I'm looking. He didn't win the Image Awards, though.
Who won that one?
We'll find out.
It doesn't matter. I liked him from Family Guy. That movie was another Nick Cage movie where he played basically like the Jiminy Cricket type character in that movie. And I really enjoyed it.
Ray won that.
Oh,
Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx. Yeah. That's bad timing, dude. Like, that was a good flick, too.
Outstanding performance in a youth children's series special was won by Raven Simone, and That's So Raven.
All right. And now she eats children.
She eats anything she can get her hands on.
Jesus Christ.
If she was a comic book superhero, a buffet line would be her real villain.
I need to save the children, but I have to finish this whole section of the buffet first.
What do you mean 1,000 items? Does that include condiments?
Jesus Christ. I must get my energy up.
If I can just pass these 10 egg rolls I ate last night.
Oh, God.
So Stain's watching Rhodey's conference because the whole sequence of the F-22s. Rhodey's got to say what happened with that. They're saying it was just
training.
There's a whole joke about it. Like, what are you going to tell it is, Rhodey? And Rhodey's like, I can't. I don't know what to think of. It's just a training accident. So there's a whole thing. That's when Potts comes down and sees Iron Man or Tony Stark disrobing. When Obadiah Stane watches Rhodey during the press conference, you'll see an expensive chess set on the table, which goes back to his character in the comics, where he created a group called the Chessmen to attack Stark Industries. And when Pepper discovers Tony just removing the damaged Iron Man suit, there's that Captain America shield in the scene as well. Remember that?
Yeah.
That was like the one.
But I thought it was a half shield or something, wasn't it? Or maybe it was just half painted or something like that.
It was the shield. It was the shield. You can see the shield. It may have not have been painted, but it was the shield. And that was like the one Easter egg everybody noticed. It's like, oh, look, there's Captain America's shield.
Right.
It was painted.
Was it? Okay. I don't remember. I just don't remember.
So then you see
I remember the shield being in there, but I could have sworn it was like half painted or some nonsense
He had it because he was pretending he was Captain America. So Stane visits the terrorists, the 10 rings in the desert, and that's when Raza's saying, you know what, if you make me this suit or something like that, blah, 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 it's revealed that Stane actually paid the terrorists to kill Stark. But Stane ended up fucking him over with the ear thing. There's just like this ear device where it paralyzes them.
Yeah, it seemed like it sent out some kind of like a sonic wave.
Supersonic wave that,
and it made them paralytic.
Turns their brain into mush where they can't.
No, it made them paralytic. They couldn't move.
That's right.
Because he doesn't actually show them killing them.
No, but they show him killing when he walks out to the desert.
All the people are dead. Or actually, they're not. They're on their knees, and he's like, take care of it. And then he gets in the truck, and as he's driving away, you hear the gun shoot. But none of it's on screen.
None of it's on screen. Yep, you're right.
Which I don't know why they chose that, but they just did.
Probably something to do with the ratings. I don't know. We're trying to keep it as nice for kids as possible. So Tony back in California, Tony tells Potts to go to his office and download some files. Wants to find his weapons and destroy all of them. He figures that Stane knows where they're at. So that's when Potts goes to the office. Starts downloading the shit. Stane walks in. There's this very uneasy, back and
tense
forth,
scene.
Very tense scene where they both know something's going on, but he can't do anything. And she starts leaving, and he goes and realizes that she downloaded something. But on her way out, she runs into Coulson as well,
right?
Saying, follow me. We'll take care of this. Really important, when Pepper Potts is downloading a set of the secret files, the authorization on one of the documents is listed as Lebowski.
Was it? I
Yes.
guess I didn't see it.
Yes, pretty cool.
Yeah.
So Tony's at home. That's when Stane ends up visiting him. uses the ear thing to paralyze him,
And steals the arc
and
reactor.
steals arc reactor from Tony's chest. We realize that, Stain is corrupt, et cetera, et cetera. Tony struggles to get down to the, I'm sorry. Potts calls Rhodey, says Stain's corrupt, et cetera, et cetera. Tony struggles to get down to his garage because
He
doesn't
basically have a heart now.
He doesn't have a heart, correct. He needs his old arc reactor.
It doesn't make any sense because the arc reactor is just supposed to be keeping the shrapnel out of his heart. So why he doesn't have the energy to go move? None of that makes any fucking sense to me.
Nothing. But he goes down there to try to get the old arc reactor that Potts put on like a little trophy case for him. And
Yeah. I mean, he acts like it's keeping him alive, but it doesn't make fucking sense
because it's supposed to keep, as you said, the shrapnel away from the heart.
Electromagnetic field to keep the shrapnel from his heart. So essentially, he had 6 days. It was kind of like the 6-finger punch or whatever the hell it was called at the end of Kill Bill, where he takes 2 steps and then he dies, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But this is a case where he had a couple days before it would have killed him.
Right.
Because he was the Walking Dead.
Walking Dead, exactly.
But
doesn't make sense.
No, it doesn't. It's
kind of a loophole in the story.
No, it's just we're so fucking dumb that we forgot.
We just forgot, yeah. It's been 40...
This is not powering him down.
Yeah, it's been 50 minutes since they explained that, so we already forgot. We've been oohed and ahhed by him flying through the air.
Fucking stupid Americans.
Yeah. So he struggles to get in the garage, but to get the old arc reactor before it goes to cardiac arrest, he barely gets to it. But of course, the robot arm ends up getting it for him.
Right, which is the scene I was talking about earlier.
Yes,
I like that scene. I think it's
funny. Meanwhile, Stain puts the new arc reactor, the one he stole from Tony.
But how sad is it that we actually attribute some kind of an emotion
to a robotic
arm.
Yeah, isn't that sad?
It's fucking
There's a lot
really
of
weird.
There's a lot of people in the world now that are attributing emotions to female robots in brothels.
Oh.
I don't get it. I do not get it.
Yeah, I don't know either, dude. I don't keep up with the times. Sorry.
I
only keep up with the Post.
So Stain puts the arc reactor into his suit, the Ironmonger.
Yep.
Terrence Rhodey finds Tony on the ground of his
lab,
whatever, and this is the whole scene
garage.
Where, and then Shield shows up at Stark Industries
to arrest
Stain.
Correct.
But Stark, back in his garage, he's up in a battle now with Rhodey aside, saying, "I'm going to go track down Stain." This is that famous scene where you see
the Mark II.
The Mark II. He's, Rhodey's like, "What can I do?" He's like, "Keep the skies clear." And as he leaves, he looks over at the Mark II, the silver War Machine armor, and says, "Next time, baby."
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the altar. That is the War Machine. I don't like Don Cheadle.
Okay. Why do you like Terrence Howard?
I just thought he was better. Which is interesting because the War Machine had a Gatling gun in that scene. But in Iron Man 2... they put the Gatling gun. Remember, it was
I don't remember
Rockwell,
it having that Gatling gun on it.
Yeah, it had a Gatling gun on it. It was Rockwell Industries put the Gatling gun on there.
Right.
That dud of a missile. Remember that missile that just...
Oh, yeah. I think I think we're more... It's more understanding to forget that there's a Gatling gun already on it, going from one movie to the next, which is several years later. Instead of 50 minutes later, we've completely forgotten the fact that
heart.
that it's just keeping shrapnel out of his heart and it's not keeping him alive.
Yep. So this is the we are at the scene with the final battle.
Okay.
This is when Ironmonger and Iron Man duke it out. They first start going through the highway where Iron Man has to save a family in a car, and they proceed to run over him.
You know what I found very interesting?
What?
Through my travels through life?
What?
I was listening to this song, and the song said, "Life is a highway."
Oh,
I'm going to ride it all night long.
This is going in the. That is a nice song though. I like that song. Life is a highway.
No, it's a shit song.
That's a great
But
song.
then he blows up the fucking bus, but there's nobody on the bus. Why is there a bus with nobody on it?
Ask Michael Bay. Actually, Michael Bay would have people in there.
No, Michael Bay would have had it. It would have been a fucking transformer. The bus would have transformed.
This was actually Michael Bay's favorite movie. Marvel movie.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. So yeah, they fight, and then what?
They fight. Remember, they go up in the air, and Jarvis is constantly updating Tony on the status of how much energy he has.
Yeah.
And they go up in the as high as they can, and Ironmonger doesn't have the proper equipment, but then he does because Stane's like, "I made some improvements, Tony."
Yeah. I got to be honest with you. Like the bridges inside the machine acting, not the best.
Not the best.
Is as much as I enjoyed most of his acting throughout the movie. Once he gets inside the machine, he just starts acting like a fucking lunatic. It just doesn't make any fucking sense at all.
Doesn't make any sense. He should have been more cold and calculated.
I would think so. I mean, he just seems to say shit like collateral damage. What the fuck is that, dude? Mm-hmm. Why? It doesn't make any sense. So, so Iron Man goes flying, and he goes flying after him, which I guess is some kind of reveal. Mm-hmm. Like, we've never seen this thing before.
We've never seen this thing before.
So the fact that he's like, I made some improvements too, Tony. Improvements to what, asshole? This is the first time we're seeing this.
We don't
thing.
know what you're talking about.
Matter of fact, we've never even seen it in sunlight, so we don't know what the hell the damn thing does. But he starts flying after him, and they get up into the atmosphere, the ozone or whatever the fuck, and he starts freezing over again as they approach space. Mm-hmm. And Tony's like, "Well, what did you do to solve the
freezing problem?
The freezing problem, which he didn't do anything." So then then they fall back down to Earth, and then
they end up going to Stark Industries, where the arc reactor that is at the novelty arc reactor, the big one that's in Stark Industries.
Yeah, the one that doesn't seem to do anything.
Yeah, overloads and end up taking out the Ironmonger, and then they're saved, and But there's a whole battle sequence. We can't do it blow by blow.
No, I wouldn't. I mean, there's the bus, there's the people in the minivan that are collateral damage, Tony. Collateral damage. What the fuck?
The climatic showdown's based off of Iron Man number 200, which was back in November '86. Let's see here. According to Jeff Bridges, Obadiah Stane was originally
35 years ago.
It's not even the right fucking math.
I don't care. That's the point.
It's not even the right math.
That's the fucking point.
Obadiah Stane was originally supposed to survive the final battle against Tony, with Stark opening up Stane's destroyed suit to find nobody there. Presumably this would have poised Stane to return for the future movies, but that didn't happen, much like Obi-Wan dying in A New Hope. Took me a second to realize. So then we had the famous press conference where Coulson is kind of primping Stark with to tell everybody.
Yeah.
But just before the final press conference, Tony Stark was reading a newspaper with a grainy amateur photograph of Iron Man on the cover. The picture is part of a video shot by onlookers hiding in the bush during initial filming that appeared on the internet in 2007. Ain't that something?
It's something.
Yeah. The final scene in which Tony reveals to the press that he is Iron Man is a reference to Avengers Disassembled miniseries. In the miniseries, Stark, under the influence of Scarlet Witch, revealed himself to be the Secretary of Defense to the entire delegates of UN with the exact line spoken in the film. To avoid spoilers about the final press conference, the extras were told that it was a dream sequence. I Am Iron Man was ad-libbed by Robert Downey Jr. So a big conference where he's starting to say, no, I'm not Iron Man, but then he just admits that he's Iron Man. And that's when it goes to the credits right away with Iron Man, I Am Iron Man by Ozzy Osbourne. Actually, that's not by Ozzy Osbourne. It's by his band. Or was it Ozzy Osbourne?
Black Sabbath.
It was Black Sabbath. So that was with him in the band.
I think it would have been more effective if they did it at the very beginning when he came out of the cave.
Just as I am Iron Man. Oh, with the music?
Yeah.
That would have been cool. I didn't think about it.
I think it just would have been more impactful than waiting till the very end to do it during the crawl. And then, of course, we get our first post-credit scene, which is I want to talk to you about the Avengers initiative.
Here's a folder.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it was cool because it definitely opened us up to, like, a bigger thing, you know. Yeah. I think the Hulk's post-credit was the intro to Thor, wasn't it?
Yes.
Or was that Captain America? I think it might have been Captain America that opened us up to Thor. Because one of them was Coulson was going to the desert. To figure out what the big thing was.
Yeah. And it was Thor's hammer.
Yeah.
Thor's hammer was in the desert.
Right. And then maybe the end scene had something to do with Captain America being in the ice or something. I can't remember, dude. I'd have to go back and watch it. It's been that long that I haven't seen that Ed Norton Hulk.
Yeah, I don't know either.
It's been forever.
So that was Iron Man.
Yeah.
Can you believe Kingdom of the Crystal Skull had a bigger opening weekend than Iron Man?
No, dude, because well, I can because it had the back line. I mean, Indiana Jones was a huge fucking movie line. Mm-hmm. Now, the fact of the matter is, as it's said and done, Iron Man's a much better film than Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
I mean, Crystal Skull
That's
was
not even close.
shit.
I mean, Crystal Skull...
I don't even understand. I didn't even understand Crystal Skull.
Utter shit.
The first time I watched it. I didn't even understand what the fuck was going on.
Neither do I. I don't think people...
I watched it, and then I'm like, wait a minute. They're aliens? What the fuck, dude? I don't get this.
I don't know either. I never understood it either.
They came out the same weekend?
No, but I'm just saying it was the same year, just different weekends.
Okay. I was just wondering if it was they were up against each other. That would have been a bad choice.
Yeah. Iron Man, I think, was May, and Kingdom of Crystal Skull
sounds about right.
June or July, something like that.
I don't know about Crystal. I didn't see Crystal Skull in the theaters. I saw Iron Man in the theaters.
Well, I'm a big indie fan, so I went.
I
came out feeling like, someone just used an entire jar of Vaseline. And I did not feel good.
Well, at least they used the Vaseline.
Unlike Pet Sematary.
But I got to be honest, dude. I was not excited about Crystal Skull. I loved Indiana Jones. I liked the first three movies. I might not be as big of a fan as you are. Just, I might not be. I don't know.
That's for you to decide.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's I don't want to put it up on a shelf and say this is my shelf and that's your shelf. Just don't want to do that to you.
No shelves. Just we all have the same shelf then?
I know that whatever shelf I was on, I was not excited about Crystal Skull. It did not look good. And I think did Transformers come out before or after that?
After. Transformers was 2009.
Oh, okay. So that kid, what was the kid famous for then?
Shia LaBeouf?
Yeah, Shia LaBeouf. Holes? I know he did Holes, that Disney movie Holes. Which,
I have no idea. That's a good question.
Which was just dumb. Like, everybody talks about it like some big fucking deal, but it was
Tremors,
stupid.
That's for sure.
No.
That was Kevin Bacon.
Yeah. Holes is a movie where they go out, they're like in detention, in some kind of detention center, and they go out and dig holes in the fucking desert. It's just dumb. I didn't like it. It was boring. I fell asleep halfway through it, so I don't even remember what happened.
I do that all the time now.
Yeah, it's just dumb. Anyway, so, but I don't know what else he was.
I don't know either.
Involved with. Maybe he did other Disney stuff.
I'm trying to think.
Because there was a reason he was chosen for that role.
I don't know, man. I can't. His Transformers was 2000. Let me just make sure.
Now, I could have sworn Transformers was before that. The first Transformers movie was before that Crystal Skull, and that's why he was so big. But I guess I'm wrong because I've been wrong about it a lot.
Transformers was 2007, so it was a year before.
Oh, okay. So he was big because of that.
He was big because of that. You're right.
Because there was I remember like when Part 3 came out and they did the young indie stuff and they had Phoenix, River Phoenix in it. Like that was a big fucking deal. But he was a big deal already because he'd done Stand By Me, and then he did the Life of Jimmy Reardon, or what was that? What is?
I don't remember. What's the next movie, Paul?
I don't care. There's no part of me that cares. I thought that's why we were starting to talk about Indiana Jones.
That was a segue. That was a segue that I had planned, because the next movie we're doing
is the first Indiana Jones.
It's perhaps one of my favorite movies of all time.
Raiders of
Better
the
than
Lost
Star
Ark.
Wars. I'm talking about Indiana Jones and Raiders of the Lost Ark. And we're going to be joined by Scott Schaefer.
I don't even know if that's my favorite indie.
You like Temple of Doom.
I'm a Temple of the Doom guy. Mm-hmm. I don't know why. I just like the little Korean boy.
The little Korean boy?
I like myself some Korean boys.
Short
stack.
Yeah.
Played Data in the Goonies.
Yep.
Yeah, he's awesome.
So
I don't think he had any career after that.
No. He was like River Phoenix after Indiana Jones' Last Crusade. Didn't have any career after that.
He died, dude.
I know about the Viper Room. It's a joke. Very dark joke, but it was a joke.
I don't think it was.
Joaquin Phoenix is going to be the Joker.
Ugh. Yuck.
No,
have you seen the latest trailer on that?
No.
Yuck.
Okay, I'll have to take a look at that.
I am not looking forward to it. I'll watch it, but I'm not looking forward to it at all.
So. All right. Well, anyway, thanks for listening. This was Iron Man. Next week we'll be doing Raiders of the Lost Ark, and then after that we have a big May coming up, very big May, with 2 huge summer blockbusters.
Do we? Yeah. I don't even know what the schedule is.
Jurassic
anymore.
Park,
right?
And then Jaws.
The first Jurassic Park.
First Jurassic Park, and then Jaws.
Okay.
I've been waiting to do Jaws.
Yeah, I know you've got a massive heart on for.
I do. I mean, I got the poster up on my wall. This is one of the best movies of all time. It is the best horror movie of all time. It is the best horror movie of all time.
I don't know. When's the last time you watched it?
A couple weeks ago. I watch it all the time.
Oh, okay.
It's phenomenal.
Then
it's phenomenal.
I don't remember it holding up very well the last time I watched it. It still holds up extremely well compared to like the other Jaws movies.
Well, the other Jaws movies weren't exactly, anything to write home about. They weren't even hardly anything to write home about. Jaws 2 was okay.
Jaws 2, yeah, that was
Jaws
okay.
Jaws 3 sucked.
The Revenge was horrible.
I don't even talk about Revenge. Revenge is like Crystal Skull.
It was, dude. It was so bad.
So we will do that movie.
Brody's dead.
Because that movie
we need to start
good.
doing some other type of movies. We've been doing too many. Well, no, we just did.
What do you mean? We
just did No Holds Bar, so we've done some shit films too. So
we've done some shit. We did Pet Sematary. We did No Holds Barred. We did a couple of shit. We did Robin Hood.
Pet Sematary is not shit.
We did
you just think it's shit.
Black Panther. We've done some shit movies this year.
I know. I like the shit.
I think Jaws: The Revenge would be a great movie to cover.
Yes.
Because even with
what I just watched the other day?
What?
Samurai Cop. It's the first time I saw it.
I never seen. Is that with
It's with no one. No one is in this movie. Like literally, the people in this movie never did anything else. It's just, it is a shit fest. It is the best shit fest I've ever seen ever.
That's awesome.
It's my favorite shit movie of all time
Samurai
at
Cop?
this point. Yes.
Oh, man. Is it? I mean, where'd you see it?
It's on Amazon Prime.
Okay.
It is. It's kind of like a really, 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 really bad version of Lethal Weapon.
We gotta do a Steven Seagal movie.
But do we do a good one or a bad one? Like Under Siege is a good one because it's funny. Mm-hmm. But then like his original movies are not that bad. Above the Law and oh Jesus Christ, he did the one with The weird science chick.
Oh, what's her name? Man, she was hot back in the day.
Yeah.
Man, was she hot. I can't remember her name. We got to do that.
But both of those movies were pretty good. That was the one where he was in the coma for like 3 years or whatever and then had to build himself back up. And then, but then later, like after Under Siege, everything after Under Siege was just total crap. Under Siege 2 was horrible. Now, I think that was that the one that was on the train?
I have no idea.
Or was that the one that was in Alaska? Like, he just did so many really bad movies after that.
We got to do Steven Seagal.
I started watching one on Netflix, the China Salesman or whatever the fuck it was. It was so bad, dude. I couldn't watch it. It had Mike Tyson, Steven Seagal, and a couple other people in it, but I couldn't make it more than 20 minutes in the movie. It was that bad.
Right.
I wanted to like that because I love. You ever seen the Tyson mysteries?
No.
Oh, those are funny as shit, dude. They're on like Cartoon Network.
The Tyson Mysteries?
Yeah, I've got them. They're funny as hell. It's basically Mike Tyson spoofing Scooby Doo.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it's funny as shit. I don't know how the hell we got the Mike Tyson.
I don't know either. None of it.
All right, let's cut this and then decide if we're going to actually do the other thing.
Okay. Anyway, we're out of time. We will see you with Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Bye-bye.